the transition in 2014 to form the BRA, that they had not yet, sir, completely reconciled a lot of the outstanding matters that were on the books, some as far back as 1968, sir, in terms of tax obligations. And the reality, sir, is that a lot of the data supported in terms of, when you look at it, those revenues, sir, were incapable of being collected. And therefore, the Prime Minister, in taking the recommendations from the Barbados Revenue Authority, such that as we streamline and look at the process going forward, they recommended, sir, that they wanted to, if my memory serves me correctly, sir, to go up to 2010. But we indicated, sir, that we will cut it off at 2000, which this bill I will further articulate, so as to allow the businesses, certainly, who are still going concerns, and persons who are still in a position, obviously, to pay, that we will undertake, sir, through the amnesty, in order to be able to bring those persons in, to make arrangements with the Barbados Revenue Authority in order to settle, sir, outstanding taxation. Now, sir, the reality is that over the last 10 years, under the last lost administration, the taxation, sir, became almost like a pariah in Barbados. And whilst Barbadians are, generally speaking, sir, law-abiding citizens and they pay their taxes, we observed, whilst we were in opposition, sir, like the rest of the country, a significant deterioration, sir, in the quality of public services that were being delivered to the public, in spite of ever-increasing levels of taxation and burden being placed on the citizen. And we would have seen throughout that time, sir, a number of levies and taxes being put in place, seemingly, sir, to solve a number of issues. And those issues never got solved, to the point now, sir, that in this exercise, certainly over the last 17 months of us coming to office and being in office, we have had to work, sir, doubly hard, on the one hand, to do work that should have been done in the 10 years, but also to do and break new ground, sir, at the same time. And the government, sir, has been committed to doing that because we understand what is required, sir, to get Barbados out of the hole. And when the Prime Minister said, sir, that many hands make light work, she clearly understood what was required in order to move Barbados in a different trajectory. And these reforms that we initiated in that very first budget, sir, and I must apologize to the chamber, as I would appreciate you would understand, sir. We have tried, sir, to ensure that we bring the appropriate legislation in a timely manner to give legislative authority with respect to what we've announced. And this is the last outstanding measure that would come to this chamber out of that budget announcement in June of last year. But having said that, sir, we have sought, as a government, to re-engage the citizens, to re-engage the private sector, sir, to initially, sir, give a level of confidence and stability to the economy, such that the level of taxation and what is being levied, sir, that persons can now get a better appreciation as to, one, what exactly is being levied, two, seeing the results, sir, with respect to what we say we will do. And there are plenty of examples which I will go through. I will take my time, sir, and go through to indicate, because whilst we are committed ourselves, sir, to reforming the public finances of government, and that is an ongoing process. What is critical, sir, is for the citizen to be able to trust that its government, sir, will deliver on the public, a level or a quality of public service, or public goods for that matter, that they feel comfortable with the level of taxation that the government will expect to get from the economy. And that, sir, is critical. And so this land tax amendment, as I indicated, sir, is just part of a suite of reforms that were intended, sir, to leave the Revenue Authority, in a sense, sir, looking to go after, literally, and there's literally, things that were actually collectible, as opposed to things that you know for a fact, sir, that you cannot collect. And that is important because, sir, when you look at the financials of the organization and to serve the purposes for which, sir, it was created, then you then start to understand why it is important that the very data and the very information upon which tax policy has to be formulated is important, that when the Revenue Authority sends information to the Ministry of Finance, sir, with respect to not just revenues that is being collected currently, but also the level of tax arrears that may be outstanding in terms of citizens paying to the country, then if you acknowledge, sir, that quite frankly, that if you have a number that certainly does not represent in any way the reality, sir, of the circumstances of Barbados to be able to collect, then you would understand, sir, that public policy formed in that environment would be flawed. And therefore, on that basis, we had to take decisions with respect to how we were going to treat, to not just the land tax component, but certainly, sir, the personal income tax, corporation taxes, VAT, and a whole host of other taxes that we looked to resolve. But importantly, sir, people grew weary, sir, of it was almost reminiscent, sir, of taxation without representation, sir. Because the quality of the services being received by the public, sir, certainly suggested that there was no effective representation coming from this place. But yet, sir, taxes upon taxes were being levied on the people of Barbados. And people started to literally feel, sir, as if the government had gone rogue, gone off its rocker, however you choose to describe it, sir. Because to the citizen, nothing made sense with respect to the tax policy of the last government. And as we've come into office, sir, we've said that our public policy, sir, has to make sense. It has to bear some reality to what is the citizens' circumstances, the circumstances of the business community, sir, and to provide a measure of stability and certainty over the medium to long term that would allow consumers, sir, to the confidence for them to be able to go out and spend in the economy, businesses, sir, to reinvest in the economy, and, sir, for external investors who coming into the economy to see that the public policy upon which this government has crafted the Barbados Economic Recovery and Transformation Program, sir, that these policies are consistent, coherent, and would be administered, sir, in a way that is business-friendly, investor-friendly, as well as consumer-friendly in its approach. Now, having said that, sir, we still have inherited systems that still need reform. And we are in the process, sir, of reforming those systems, because whilst the public policy as being articulated, sir, by this government is consistent, the systems, sir, for implementation are still lagging a little bit. And a lot of reforms are still being undertaken, certainly within the Barbados Revenue Authority, certainly within the Treasury, sir, and the Ministry of Finance, sir, in order to be in a position, sir, to make better decisions about, one, how we levy taxes, sir, two, how we spend the monies paid by taxpayers, sir, and three, sir, certainly as we modernize across government, that the support certainly from the center, sir, in terms of the Ministry of Finance to the other ministries and agencies of government, that there's a consistency, sir, in terms of the programmatic approach to government, that the responsibility now, sir, is upon all of us to be able to manage through the execution of our programs so that the confidence that we anticipate, sir, will be enhanced through the economy, that the citizens, sir, will start to see a better quality of public service. And I know that every member of this chamber, sir, has been hard at work doing, and I want to repeat, sir, doing work that should have been done already while still trying to break new ground to chart a new path for Barbados. That, sir, has been our lot, and we have been able to do so with confidence, sir, under the leadership of the Honourable Prime Minister, who, sir, is tireless in her efforts to ensure that we pull Barbados back, sir, from where we took it last May. Now, sir, through you and to the citizens of Barbados, we have done a lot in a relatively short space of time, but there's still more work to be done. And that's why it's important for the citizens, sir, to have an appreciation for why there are some things that seem to be taking longer to execute from the perspective, sir, of the fact that all of us in this place, sir, and certainly those who hold portfolios, would say to you that much of their time, sir, over the last 17 months, would have been spent on trying to fix things that really should have been fixed a long time ago. And in a sense, sir, we have been, for a large part, doing some old work whilst transitioning to be able to do new things. And we have dedicated ourselves, sir, to that exercise, because unless you can correct the very things, sir, that are humbugging, as a good Bajan word, sir, humbugging the process, which, sir, culturally means that the shift in psychology in the way that we do things, not just in government, but certainly when we do things in the private sector and how people engage government, sir, is critical. And we have sought, sir, to push the Barbados Revenue Authority as it sought to modernize and bring new systems to deliver a better quality service. And I accept, sir, that the real hurdle, in a sense, for the Barbados Revenue Authority is that it was formed at a time, sir, and I've indicated before, it was formed at a time where the Ministry of Finance, sir, under the previous administration, its public policy was so flawed that the very agency that, when it was previously the Inland Revenue Department, sir, every citizen in Barbados could look forward September, October to seeing their refunds for income tax. And everybody knew and felt, even though you were paying taxes, they knew that September, October, they would see those income tax refunds. So when the Revenue Authority was formed, and in the context of the public policy being executed at that time, the Revenue Authority did not live up to that very high expectation. And therefore, the arrears that were built up, sir, because of the failure of the public policy space, the failure of the last government, sir, to maintain that trust with the citizens through the Revenue Authority, then the Revenue Authority, unfortunately, has developed a very negative perception in the public's mind, simply because they were not being paid their refunds in the way that they were in the past. And that, above all else, sir, signaled to Barbadians that something was horribly wrong with the way the country was being managed. And